Okay, we proceed. To crystallize, a polymer chain must be linear, although limited crystallization can take place if a small number of branches are present. And the primary requirement for crystallinity is an order repeating chain structure. This is why stereoregular polymers are often crystalline and their irregular counterparts are amorphous. So, if the question asks you to give the example for stereoregular polymer, you can give the structure of isotactic PP and syntactic PP. Okay, so isotactic PP, it has highly crystalline compared to syntactic PP. So you can draw the structure. Okay, because the location of the side group in polypropylene is in the same site compared to the alternate site in uh, syntactic structure. Okay, now we look at the structure of polystyrene. Normal polystyrene, known as atactic polystyrene, it has a random position of the side group, which is benzene ring. So this side group, this random location will make or prevent the chain from packing closely to each other. So atactic polystyrene is an amorphous polymer. It is soft, it has low melting temperature and become easily swollen in solving. Compared to the syntactic polystyrene, which has the alternate side benzene ring, uh, the alternate side of the chain will allow the chain to pack into the crystal. So syntactic polystyrene is crystalline. It has rigid, high melting and not easily penetrated by the solvent. This one is the structure for polypropylene. So as we can see, the above structure is the location of the CH3 methyl group is on the same side, represent the isotactic PP. While for the bottom one is the presence of CH3 is on alternate side of the main chain. So which one is more crystalline? As I mentioned earlier, isotactic PP has highly crystalline compared to syntactic PP. About 43.4% crystallinity present in isotactic PP and about 30% of crystallinity present in syntactic PP. Okay, the next factor will affect the crystallinity of the polymer is the little or no branching. If the polymer has little or almost no branching, it can produce highly crystalline polymer. Crystallization is inhibited in heavily cross-linked polymer and in polymer containing bulky side group. And chain branches cannot easily be accommodated in polymer crystal, so the percentage crystallinity will drop if the amount of comonomer increases. And the randomly bulky group and branches on polymer matrix will prevent the chain to close packing together, resulting in an amorphous region. As we can see here, there are a lot of bulky side group or the presence of the branching in the low density polyethylene compared to the linear structure of HDPE. Okay, the next one is the um, molecular weight, the effect of the molecular weight on the polymer crystallinity. As we can see, if the molecular weight of the polymer is high, it will increase the strength of the polymer. Hence, the highly crystalline polymer will produce high molecular weight polymer. Tensile strength increase with molecular weight, whereby longer chain will entangle better. Tensile strength and modulus often increase with increases of the crystallinity. As we can see here, this one, the x-axis represent the molecular weight and y-axis is represent the amount of crystallinity. Okay, this one is the properties of liquid, waxy, and soft. Okay, for highly crystalline polymer, okay, it will produce a hard properties of the polymer, hence it will increase the molecular weight. This one is the type 1, which is type 1 branch low density, type 2 medium density, type 3 high density, and type 4 is linear high density to ultra high density. Okay, so means that for this column, the maximum molecular weight achieved is 1.5 million, which represent the ultra high density molecular weight, and linear density molecular weight. Okay. So low molecular weight polyethylene, which is LLDPE for example, with applicable side branching, has a melting range generally below 100 degrees C. High molecular weight polyethylene, like HDPE, with few branches, has a melting range approaching the theoretical value of about 145 degrees C. So high density polyethylene, it has the resistance towards the high temperature compared to LLDPE. Because LLDPE, it has both linear and branch structure, whereby the toughness is given by the branch structure, and the linear give a strength properties of the polymer. The next factor that contribute to the crystallinity is the pendant group. Polymer with small pendant group will crystallize more readily than polymer with large, bulky pendant group. For example, we have PVA crystallize more than PVAC because of the bulky acetate group in PVAC. And the OH group in PVA also form strong hydrogen bond. Hence, the bulkier or larger the side bonded group of atom, the less tendency there is for the crystallization. You have many side group, it will decrease. If you have more bulky and large side group, it will decrease the crystallinity. So we have an example here, PVA and PVAC. So if we compare the structure between PVAC and PVA, PVAC has more bulky side group compared to PVA. So PVA has highly crystalline structure compared to PVAC. So as you can see, PVAC has C double bond O, CO, and also CH3. Okay, PVA only has OH structure. And the size of this side group is smaller than PVAC. The next one is the strong intermolecular forces. Intermolecular forces can be a big help of polymer crystallization. Apa maksud dia? If the polymer has high intermolecular forces, it will help the formation of the crystal because the molecule prefer the order of arrangement with maximum packing density to maximize the number of secondary bond. Thus, the molecule will tend to organize and develop a crystal structure. For example, the presence of the polar and hydrogen bonding group favors crystallinity because they make possible dipole-dipole and hydrogen bonding intermolecular forces. A polyester such as PET contains polar ester group. Dipole-dipole forces between the polar groups hold the PET molecule in strong crystal. Therefore, strong intermolecular forces increases the degree of crystallinity. So a good example is a nylon. So we can see that the polar amide groups in the backbone chain of nylon 66 are strongly attracted to each other. And there forms the strong intermolecular hydrogen bond, and this strong binding hold chain together. And because those chains are so symmetrical, they are also form a crystal. This raises the melting point of the crystal compared to the polymer without such strong intermolecular interaction. That's why nylon have much higher melting point than polyethylene or polypropylene. So in nylon 66, the carbonyl oxygen and the amide hydrogen can hydrogen bond with each other. This allows the chain to line up in orderly fashion to form a fiber. So another example is polyester. If you look at the structure of polyester, it has a polar ester group, which is represented by a C double bond O, COO, that hold the polyester into a strong crystal. And the polar ester group will make strong attraction, just like the pole of a magnet pull toward each other. So, in addition, the aromatic ring in the polyester uh, stack together in an orderly fashion, make the crystal even stronger. And this strong interaction will raise the melting temperature of PET much higher than polyethylene. Okay, so if now you can ask yourself if those intermolecular forces affect crystallinity and TM. Don't they also affect the TG? Okay, so ask yourself, wouldn't a stronger interaction causing a high TM also leads to a higher TG or not? Okay, so all the intermolecular forces, the melting temperature, the TG, the crystallinity, it is all related. Okay, this one is the ester group in PET. Okay, in terms of the slow rates of cooling, a major difference between small molecule and polymer is that the morphology of a polymer is dependent on its thermal history, and the crystallinity of a polymer can be changed by cooling the polymer melt slowly or quickly. When they are processed industrially, polymer often are cooled rapidly from the melt. So in this situation, the crystallization is controlled by the kinetic rather than the thermodynamic. There may not be time for the chain which are entangled in the melt to separate enough to form a crystal. So the amorphous nature of the melt is frozen into the solid, and the amorphous is more likely to have a higher percentage of crystallinity if it is cooled slowly compared to drastically uh, fast cooling. This one is the DSC scan of PET after and quench cooling, and the bottom one is DSC scan of PET after slow cooling. Quench cooling means a rapid cooling. This one is a slow cooling. As we can see, uh, the degree or the TC